I'm Justin.
And I'm Adam.
And we are the Maduro Brothers. All right, today we're going to be doing our mission statement and a little bit about what we are and why we're doing this.
What we're trying to do.
We're going to be a cigar channel. We're going to do reviews. We're going to do events. Anything cigar related, we're going to cover. I wanted to get into this because there's a lot of snobbery out there, and it's not that there's not a place for that. We're just not about that. We're kind of...
Cigars are for the everyday man.
Yeah. You don't have to
or woman.
Yeah. Or we're equal opportunity cigar smokers here. But you don't have to be Winston Churchill to appreciate a good cigar.
And most of them aren't even that expensive. You can get a good cigar for very cheap.
Yep. This Nica Rustica that Adam is smoking, that retails between $5.50, $6. Fantastic cigar. So, it really, a good cigar does not have to cost you money. And I have smoked cigars that are $20, $30 that I have asked myself, why the hell did I just spend $20, $30 on this piece of shit?
And we've also smoked cigars that were $20, $30 and...
Yeah, oh no, there are absolutely cigars that are $20, $30 that are completely worth it.
They make you cry when you go ahead and throw them into the ashtray.
Yeah, definitely. So let's cut and light, and we'll get into how we started smoking cigars. I am using a Calibri V-Cut, graciously given to me as a gift by my friend Derek. Thank you, Derek, if you're watching.
Yep. And then the other cutter we're using is one of the ones that was donated for the first episode from S&M in Fort Pierce.
Yes, sir. S&M Smoke Shop. Big shout out to you guys.
Eventually, they said they'd let us do an episode there, so hopefully we'll be able to showcase.
We might be upgrading our venue, so stay tuned. I'm smoking the Protocol Official Misconduct. What you smoking, Adam?
I don't know. You gave it to me.
I gave him a Nica Rustica by Drew Estate.
Okay.
I gave you that cigar because that is a prime example of why you don't have to pay a lot of money for a good cigar.
Excellent. Yeah, if it hasn't been made apparent already, I am the one with the less knowledge of cigars, and he is the one with the absolute astonishing knowledge of cigars. So we tried to use this as a way...
Hey, I'm no guru. I know people who know more than me, but I know a little bit more than the guy off the street.
Yeah. But we try to use that to showcase that, you know, it's two very distinct levels of smoking. There's the...
Oh, that's fantastic.
The person who researches and absolutely delves into the history and the way that they make these cigars. And then there's people who just like to enjoy them. I'm starting to get to the former, but for now, I am definitely the latter.
Yeah, there's definitely, if you really want to dive into it, there's 1,000 people in the cigar industry you could learn about and focus on. You have the Oliva family, the Plasencias, AJ Fernandez, Esteban Carreras. Right now, I'm very much favoring Espinosa. This protocol right now is made by Espinosa at La Zona in Esteli, Nicaragua. Great cigar. Right now, I'm really on a Nicaraguan kick. I personally think that Nicaragua has some of the finest tobacco coming out in the world. That includes Cuba. Oh God, that's delicious. All right, so how did you get started smoking cigars, Adam?
In the sense of like continuously smoking?
No, what's the first cigar you smoked?
Oof. Okay, so this will be a funny story. Back when I was about 12 years old, my father had a cigar that he would keep in his master bedroom, and he wasn't really a cigar smoker kind of guy. He could smoke a pack of Marlboros in, a day, but he wasn't a cigar type. I guess someone had given him the cigar and he kind of put it in his room and just forgot about it. Well, I was about 12 years old, and I found this, and I would take a couple puffs off of it every once in a while, cough up a lung. But that's kind of my first time of ever smoking a cigar. Now, actually doing it and enjoying it was probably about the same time that me and you started to come up to the pipe den here in Vero Beach.
Okay. Yeah. All right, so my first cigar that I smoked, I was probably 11, 12 years old. It was a Swisher Sweet that I stole from my uncle. And he later confronted me and asked me why I stole a cigar. I said, because I wanted one. But seriously, I started smoking right after I graduated high school. I really got into it. I'd always been interested in it. I've had uncles who smoked cigars. It was something that always interested me. I'm big into anything craft made, craft beer, Swiss watches, stuff like that. So this was just a natural fit for me. Besides, it's a great way to unwind.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I used to be a cigarette smoker. I'd probably go through like half a pack a day. I wouldn't say that I was like in trouble of being one of those people who smoked a pack a day. But then when I started to smoke the cigars, I realized, you know, for what you...
We wanted to talk about what cigar smoking means to us. For me, it's relaxation, it's tradition, it's heritage, it's a lot of different things. One of my favorite things about a cigar is before you smoke it, about 1,000 hands have touched the tobacco that's in your cigar. 1,000 people went into making this single cigar. From the people who planted the seeds, to the people in the field, to the people at the factory, to the rollers, to the people in packaging. 1,000 people. I find that absolutely fascinating. All made by hand, organic. You're not going to find pesticides used in tobacco farming. Very, very, very rarely, and that's low quality tobacco. And one of the biggest things for me is the camaraderie. There's nothing like sitting in your local lounge and relaxing, talking about your mutual hobby with all these people. That's why, if you're a beginner cigar smoker, don't just order on CI and smoke on your back porch. There's nothing wrong with that, but you're not getting the full experience. If you're in a place that has a lounge locally, now I understand if you're in Massachusetts or if you're in California, that's not really an option. And I understand that. And that's really a shame because it's years of history and camaraderie all washed down the drain because people believe you're smoking a cigarette. You're not. You don't even inhale this. This is just, you bring it into your mouth.
If you're smart.
Yeah. If you're smart. If you want to kill yourself, by all means. But watch this. I'm going to take a long breath while I'm dragging on the cigar. No inhale. Still a fantastic cigar. Please, if you are interested in trying a cigar, go to your local tobacco shop, talk to your tobacconist. Your tobacconist will not point you wrong usually. He'll ask you, do you think you'd like a lighter cigar? You think you'd like a medium body? You think you want a heavy cigar? Don't go out and spend $20 on your first cigar.
Oh yeah, no.
Do not do that, because all you're doing is, one, if it's a good cigar, you're not truly appreciating it. Or two, if it's an overrated cigar, you just spent 20 bucks to go, well, that was overrated. There's a very popular brand that I find extremely overrated, a couple of them. I'm not going to go into that in this video. We'll go into that later. But big prominent brands, and they're the douchebags out there. Oh, I only smoke, I'll drop one of them, Davidoff. I only smoke Davidoff. If it's not made by Davidoff, I don't smoke it. Well, then you're just missing out on fucking 99.999% of all the fantastic fucking cigars in the world.
That you can get for much cheaper.
Yeah, much cheaper. Much, much cheaper. There's no reason why you're spending the $25 on a Connecticut cigar from the Dominican Republic that has little to no flavor. What does cigar smoking mean to you, Adam?
Like I said, for the most part, I just started getting into cigar smoking, but a lot of it has to do with the camaraderie, like you said. I'm meeting a lot of new people, and the cigar smoking is just one of the shared interests. It's a gateway, pretty much, to these people, where you get to sit down and you start talking about cigars, and then, like the cigar lounge that me and him go to, it ends up being a 3-hour conversation about cars and football, guns, and, musical selection. Yeah, hookers, if you're lucky.
That was a great conversation.
That was a great conversation.
Yes.
But aside from the camaraderie, it's just, for me, it plays into a little bit of what Justin was saying about the history of cigars, how that plays a large part of it. But for me, it's more of the anthropological side. It's the how many people have actually sat there throughout history, and this was their leisure of choice.
Absolutely.
You know, it wasn't, it's a completely different world than now, where people are like, oh, I'll spend $8 on a pack of Newports, chuff down 20 chemical-filled cigarettes that don't necessarily have a good flavor. They leave you smelling worse. I mean, you're definitely going to smell when you smoke cigars, but even like my fiance has said that she prefers me smoking cigars over cigarettes. The smell is completely different.
There's no comparison to the smell.
But going back to the history and what it means, it's interesting to sit there and be able to sit on your back porch and enjoy something that you know thousands upon thousands of people throughout history. This is how they spent their leisure. Yep. This is how they went ahead and spent their time. And once you get into it and you start to smoke them and you enjoy them and you find what you like, you definitely see what the appeal is. There's so many
prominent people in history who love cigars. Ulysses S. Grant, cigars. Winston Churchill, one of the most famous cigar smokers in the world. John F. Kennedy, I forget the exact cigar it was, but right before he signed the Cuban embargo, he sent one of his aides out to go buy thousands of his favorite Cuban cigar because he knew he was just about to make them illegal.
See, and not even like super famous people like that, because one aspect of this show is we're trying to make cigars accessible to the layman, to the everyday person.
Oh, absolutely. At one time in America, your hometown tobacco shop was Grand Central Station. You know, there are certain people who smoke pipes, there are certain people who smoke cigars, and there were thousands of cigar manufacturers in the United States. Thousands.
And I guess at the end of it all, like one of my favorite points about smoking a cigar is the length of time that it takes and the state of mood it puts you in is absolutely excellent for just pondering. You know, if you're a thinker, if you're someone that likes to sit, even if you're by yourself, if you're in a group of people, like me and Justin can sit down, smoke a cigar for about an hour, and we'll talk about everything under the sun and learn a lot from that. But even if you're just sitting there by yourself, I'll come out here on, you know...
We love having great historical conversations with smoking cigars.
I'll come out here and I'll go ahead and smoke a cigar and just think about life for an hour. And it puts you in almost, not to sound like a weird new age person, but it puts you in a kind of transcendental state of mind where you're sitting there and you're...
Alright guys, this has been an introduction to the Maduro Brothers. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, drop us an email. If you guys have any suggestions for us, just want to say what's up. Like our Facebook page. We're trying to get a cigar group going on our Facebook page. I often post a what you smoking. I'll light up a stick, take a picture. You guys do the same.
Absolutely. If you got any comments, questions, anything you want to send to us. Right now we don't go ahead and have an official Maduro Brothers Gmail.
Yes, we do.
We do?
Yes, okay. It is the Maduro Brothers at gmail.com.
Awesome. Either that or you can send it to my personal one, inebriatedwendigo at gmail.com. And this has been an episode of the Maduro Brothers.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Adam.
And we are
the Maduro Brothers.